All right. Whoa. Hey, stop that. Stop it. Not a toy.
If I kicked a girl in where the dick would be, wouldn't it hurt?
Yes, of course. Because it's a stupid cartoon. So, Jane just had me watch a video called Good Citizen. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just a human. I got my own issues, I got my own insecurities, I got my own imperfections. I'll go, what's going on? But yeah, so hear boo. Why would I hear boo? I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna hear lots of boos over the years. But I don't make a habit of pulling or putting just watching things. But she asked, and okay, I'll give it a check. And so it has 2.8 million views in 5 months. 2.8 million views in 5 months. It's been allowed to have 2.8 million views in just 5 months. And it shows you that people are very much interested in the subject. So again, I'm at this point where I have such a hard time enjoying things, No, I mean, I can't shut off the Goyianizer, right? Oh, the Goyianizer, the thing that scrutinizes and Goyianizes everything, And I think one of the things, the best things they have is our like. If we like it, we don't give it the same scrutiny or the same. We put our defenses down when we like something, and so she's okay. You get a little close up. You put the filter down. She's not the most attractive, and of course, for some fucked up reason, like I'm always weirded out by it when I see it. But like, I saw another interview with her, and she does her hair the exact same way in the interview, and I'm like, I mean, it's just weird shit like that where I just think, man. So what? That's your look? That's like your thing. You got a look that you go with. You always go with that. You always rock the same hairstyle. I mean, it's just little things. But I then I have to ask. Like I'm watching and like, okay, so from an artistic perspective, from a want to be artist, somebody who wants the position she has. I mean, I have to ask why. Why is she allowed to see that success? And Jane says, "Oh, she's sleeping." Jane says she used to be a doctor, and blah blah blah. She has been allowed to fly the coop, still stating facts. Don't take her on my. The thing about the Guyanizer is it does that. It takes the things you like. It's always important to focus on what you like, almost more than you focus on what you don't. At least from the scrutinizing perspective. I want to figure this out. I want to make sense of this. So, again, I listened to the song. She repeats herself, so she doesn't, I really, as an artist, as a songwriter, I hate that. The only time I'm okay with repeating myself is in the hooks, and even with that, like you could see in the TBG, playlist that even the hooks, if you pay real attention, you'll see that a lot of the times, like, the hook isn't the same hook isn't spliced in. It's a different one. Slight variations on the emphasis used on the words or the delivery or whatever. Like, I really don't, it's like if you have 4 minutes, I want to be able to say as much as I can in that 4 minutes, not repeat myself. And at one point, she mentioned something about Judas. They had, the Judas, this, that, and the other. And I went, aha. And then when I watched the interview with her, she says, something about imagine if, we were told that our nation, our God, blah, this, that, and the other. So she believes in God. She's trying to bring awareness by God is to hats not better than anything come out on new J where wow, I don't know what you're trying to say there. I mean, you have to, again, it's whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. When you see that someone has 2.8 million views in 5 months, like, it's only because they're allowed to. And so you have to ask yourself, why are they allowed to? I mean, it's different for me because I am the comparison. But I'm always asking, why? What are they doing that is just so much better that they're allowed to exist? Why are they allowed the success? Just a little rattled. I mean, it comes from, with a heavy dose of skepticism. It comes with a heavy dose of, you have to see it. You have to do these things. You have to look at things like this. You have to break things down. This way you're not caught by something unexpectedly. And that's I hate to do it. I hate to break down the good things. She's saying the right things. She's doing, sure. Why? Why is that allowed? You can do it. You can just enjoy shit and whatever. I'm in it too deep. I have personal, attachment to these kinds of things, and I'm why is this allowed when I'm not? And the asshole is gonna say, oh well, they're good. Your shit's just not good. That's what the problem is. That might explain something, and I might be inclined to believe that if the days I'm feeling less and less confident or whatever. Because again, we're all human. We're not all in the mix. We're not all like invincible. But if I was, if it wasn't any good, like the biggest issue, I guess, is the Facebook page. They fucked up. They screwed up by letting our Facebook page be what it is. Because if you suck at what you do, how do you get 6,300 following? I'm clearly not some brilliant, you flagged them early on. Well, I'm not some brilliant computer guy who knows how to manipulate the ins and outs of computers, although Charles is, but from Charles' perspective, from a computer guy's perspective, he goes into it and he's like, I don't understand what the fuck's going on. And don't, there's definitely more that Charles could do. Don't get that wrong. Like he is very much the diva for a reason. He's already famous in his mind. Why should he have to be bothered with it? He's an artist. You must always accept the Bilderberg effect. Yeah, but again, like there's a lot of people out there making very similar songs. There's a lot of people out there making truther music at this point. But it's like I guarantee she never had her biggest song on Facebook well over 100,000 views, which again, we suck, so how that works out is beyond me. But to click on the video and see that the audio is gone, the view count is completely, manipulated, affected. Like, what is it? You put the target on you. I'll go do it all the time. Yeah, I mean, I know I did. I know what I did. And I knew it would be what it is. Like, I never had any delusions that they were going to allow me to break through like that. The reality is, even with all the effort put in place, we were. And you say the Bilderberg effect, but you understand, like, from a marketing standpoint, especially nowadays, we should be getting hundreds, if not thousands of people every single day that are just clicking on our shit because of the name. Because they're doing research and what is this Bilderberg group, Or they're specifically looking the Bilderberg group up and they just stumble across one of our videos. Our Bilderberg group Epstein tapes song should absolutely be fire. Those words in themselves should just be bringing people in. You guys remember that guy, Michael, forget his last name. The guy behind What in the World Are They Spraying and Why in the World Are They Spraying? The guy who made those movies and then ended up homeless and crazy and weird, and I guess did he die? I don't remember. What are you talking about? You're weird. But yeah, you have to sort of, you have to apply things evenly. If you don't coat it evenly, you're gonna get, uneven tan lines. But you have to ask yourself, like, what is the difference? At the end of the day, I'm making conspiracy shit. I'm making truther shit. Just like Tom McDonald. Why is Tom McDonald allowed so much success? I get that. Okay, sure, right. There's going to be more because they're fitting into a category. Nobody else is creating their own genre. I get that. Which is a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, we don't fit in with what people, are looking for or expect, so it works against us. But at the same time, I can't be the only one that's sick of it all. That's sick of, all my Zeppelin songs, all my Doors songs, because I've heard them all a zillion times. Right? I'm sick of rap in general, just because it's all, like, even if you're making matter of fact, truth or rap just sounds weird to me. Most of the time when I hear truth or rap, I'm like, I've been programmed with that. Rap is what it is. And so one of the main reasons why TBG exists is because somebody had to make the music I wanted to hear. I wasn't hearing it, so I decided to make it. And again, you can talk all the shit you want, but from just a numbers standpoint, like, our shit's good. It's just good. Whether you like it or not, like, it's good. Not everybody's going to like it, for sure, but definitely not everybody's going to hate it. And there are a lot of people, especially like white people of my age, older, like my mom, who they want to like rap, but they can't because they're the target of a lot of rap songs. They don't understand half the words. Two, it's loud, it's obnoxious, it's abrasive. Three, it's stupid. I mean, I've done it many times on here. Tell me the rap song I'm supposed to look up. Nipsey Hussle is supposed to be the guy that was against gun violence and trying to change the community. Listen to his shit. It's all, I'll shoot you this, I'll shoot you that. Kendrick Lamar is supposed to be this guy who's just on another level. I guess, okay. Like, seems like the same old shit to me. 50 years now, and they're coming up and showing us they have always been in control. Yeah. But again, this doesn't address my point. My point being, what the difference is between somebody like me who's making the songs we make, and her. She's a cute girl, she's singing, but at the end of the day, it's okay, it's good, right? But she's supposedly saying the no-no stuff. So why is she allowed to say the no-no stuff and I'm not? What is the difference there? What is she doing differently? Morning, 78 hours done, afternoon on 9 p.m. at the amusement park. Being a ride operator is stressful sometimes and hot. Yeah, it's got to be rough. But, I mean, I'm sure if you want to, you could get random laid every day. That's for sure, right? I mean, just look at the live feed. How many live feeds have you ever seen that work like mine? one viewer, 3 likes, and we know that there's more than one person here because they're communicating, they're talking. And of course, it's the same people. It's the same people who know to look for me, know to fight through whatever, interference comes their way. Like, so what is it? I mean, I know the answer. It's one thing to it's one thing to make a truther song, right? There's so many subjects you can talk about that would fall into that truther category. And that there are people that would, identify you as, because you said something, because you were like, hey, let's question JFK or something like that. That's enough to put you in that category. Oh, chemtrails, you see the chemtrails? Ooh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Now I have 1 watcher and 4 likes. Yesterday, my like count was climbing kind of weirdly. I knew something was up. Got all the way up to 18, but by the end of the video, it had been dropped down to 10. How does that make any sense? Where does that make sense? What's going on there? We're at 20 minutes. I have one viewer and 4 likes. Maybe I should reset. Just think about it. What is the difference? And that should be like Ago. Ago believes in Jesus, right? He's as lunatic truther as you can get, right? You're right. Infamous. I mean, it is weird if you look up my name, Guy Williams Jr., you'll see on the Google Trends thing, it just doesn't even make sense, especially when you look at like over the last 5 years. And you look at, it spikes up to the same number, then it drops to the same number, then it spikes to the same number, then it drops to the same number. And it's like, that's not how charts work. It's just not how people work, right? And so, and then people say, oh, there's that comedian out of New Zealand. Yeah, I'm sure the comedian out of New Zealand is getting looked up by people all over the United States all the time. And he's not Guy Williams Jr., is he? It is really strange that as my profile started to gain popularity, suddenly a different Guy Williams comes out of the woodwork. That's really strange. But like I say, there's, at this point, you don't think the system has realized that, like, a vast, vast majority of us are truthers at this, questioning vaccines, questioning the streaks in the sky, questioning the religious, presentation. Bad. Won't somebody think of the children? Putin's dropping bombs on children. Putin's dropping bombs on children. Children. Putin's dropping bombs on children. Putin's dropping bombs on children. Children. Putin's dropping bombs on. Putin's dropping bombs on. Putin's dropping bombs on. Somebody think of the children. Yeah. Give it to me. You already know. I'm not stupid, dude. The fact that we can't just trust you not to do it is crazy.
You can trust me, but I put it under my bed every night.
That makes no sense.
I don't know why I do it. I just do it.
That makes no sense.
I put it.
Oh shit, he's coming. Shows it.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
God damn it, Tula.
What is this?
God damn it, Chula. Get the hell out of here.
I got it.
Why were you oh, look, it's actually on like it was being used. Dude, you're the most obvious liar ever. Oh, it's just on and the game happens to be on. Yep, that's what it is yesterday. Yeah. I believe you. Boom, bidda doom, boom, boom, bidda doom, bidda doom, bidda doom, boom, boom. Boom, bidda doom, bidda doom, bidda doom, bidda doom, bidda doom, boom, 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 boom. I'm really liking our new song, Slappy Cappy. I mean, from the titles of the songs to the hooks to all of it. It's interesting how, I mean, when you look at what we do, considering the fact that I record into a phone in a closet with no other inspiration or anything, I come up with the hooks. I come up with the beat. I deliver it in the way it goes. No metronome, no headphones, none of it. And then I send it to Charles and he puts it all together. Like it's on a different level. We're trying to compromise with that. Let's see how loud my kid's phone is. Wow, loud. They try to make me join the jihad, and I said no. Trump is back on TV trial, but where are the Epstein tapes? Oh yeah, Diddy's gone completely wild. But like, where are the Epstein I consider myself a music connoisseur. My tastes vary tremendously. I have, songs from every genre you can think of that I like. I mean, even if you look at our cover songs, we've covered country songs and Janis Joplin songs. Like, but where are the Epstein tapes? They have the Goyim TO. So I listen from a fan perspective. I'm a very critical fan, but I'm a fan perspective. I listen from, and I just don't understand. Like, it sounds good to me. This is something I listen to. And actually, because I listen to TBG, it really does ruin a lot of other people's shit for me, because TBG makes me listen to the words. Makes me pay attention instead of just nodding my head yes to the worst things possible. Yeah, niggas kill niggas, bitches, Yep, bitches kill, hoes to the windows, to the wall. Yep, okay, yep. Instead of just doing that and playing along, I'm like, wait, what are you saying? Boy, your rhyme scheme sucks. Boy, you're just desperately putting words together just to make them rhyme. The whole song isn't a cohesive song. It's a bunch of pieces put together. And to me, the first line in the song and the last line in the song should complete a loop. Supply the shitty music so the goy can sing along. Supply the shitty music so the goy can sing along. We are in knowing we belong to such depravity is gross. Like drinking water from a bong, or like how gravity's a hoax. Since we all know different strokes make different people happy. But so ask yourself again, what is it? Ignorance we're masking is the last laugh, and they're laughing at the masses. It used to be like nobody else is making these kinds of songs. Nobody else is making it. So the problem is you're being a truth. You can't make songs about truth or shit. You're gonna get in trouble. But now, truther songs are fucking everywhere. Iran is making truther songs. And they're great. The Lego songs are great. Bleeding the Goyim dry. The wealth that comes when we succeed is fleeting if we try to have a meeting in the sky with a god. But it used to be that, you could sort of say, like, man, if you just did this, then it would work out.
When our splits compared, we see the balls that no one likes.
But considering that their life is brutal, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you know, you gotta remember that inflection and sarcasm and all that kind of shit gets lost in the comments, just lost in the translation. Plus, you know, Irish Aussies have a Karen's hilarious because Karen, you know, 20-30% of the time I have no idea what the fuck she's talking about. Jews my breakfast, I promise you. What? But Jews my breakfast, I promise you? No idea what that means.
But where are the friggin' Epstein tapes?
I hear songs like this one, like Operation Kirk, like Pudding, you know, like you know, all these songs are great to me. But Solution Finale, like I'm smart enough to realize certain songs are better than other ones for sure. But you know, what is that difference that they're allowed to succeed? I'm not even allowed to fail. That's the craziest part. I'm not allowed to have my shit go out there like everybody else's does and get ripped apart if it sucks. Like it's what is it? To me, it seems pretty obvious. It's just like the whole the truther presentation aspect of this. Why is Ian Carroll allowed to have the numbers he is? Why is Stu Peters? Why is Ian Blakely? Rathbone? You know, I'm trying to come with people from different perspectives, from the top of the ladder to the, you know, the lower end of the spectrum. But what's the difference? Because it hurt. I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. But there now there's that separation. I don't know anybody else that's been saying what I say. I know that all the truthers seem to read from the same script. I know just like the music truthers all read from the same script. It's all the same shit. Every single one of these people tells you to believe in God. And it's one of those things that's so difficult for me because I don't, like, to me it's really, really obvious that religion is the, you know, original sort of Big Brother. You know? Before they actually had cameras everywhere, they told you that God is what, that there's invisible cameras everywhere.
And Gary found the powers that would nuke the entire scheme. Pictures featuring Larry the Coward breaking children's dreams as the sound of those screams went all the way up to the president.
You know what I mean?
Everyone, it seems, got
Okay, come on. Oh shit, I grabbed this and no, that's not no better. That's weird. And you know.
And 2 weeks later, they decided, never mind the missing evidence. So when Gary Caradoni died, so did the story's relevance.
I can't believe I got the name wrong. It's Gary Caradori. don't know what the fuck. I could have sworn I read it as Caradoni. I don't know. Did the same thing with Shirina Buakla. I thought it was a clay because that's what they were saying. I saw a bunch of people saying Shirina Buakla. So I went with it. But like, this is the important part, right? This might seem like a boring conversation in comparison. Normally I talk about a much bigger picture thing. Like, look at this, exposing something. But this time it's like, you know, I mean, I'm still talking about a much bigger picture, but it you know, I have a personal stake in it. You know, there's a personal, look at that, beautiful rose. Because he's bought and paid for, perhaps. I mean, that's all I can. I don't know how else to see it. I don't want to see it that way. I want to believe that there are good guys out there, and that good guys are, you know, that they can achieve. That if you're a good guy, it's not a death sentence. It's not a career death sentence for sure. And that the American dream is real. You know, if you just got to work really hard. You know, never let the naysayers bring you down. You know, all those people that didn't support you on the way up, they're gonna be there when you're there. Like, all of it. We've all heard the same shit. And of course, if you're an American, you've heard the American dream bullshit. You work really hard, you'll get what you want. But I think I work pretty fucking hard. Here's everything I say. You're like 10 minutes after reading my reply. I'm reading them as they come up. I mean, it's really weird. I don't have to apologize now. I still mad at that. Like, dude, you don't have to apologize for anything. I appreciate everything you do. And, if there's limitations, there's limitations. But appreciate that, but like, try and read and keep up with the content. Sometimes you just look away and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Are you drunk again? Take your time, we try to keep up with typing the answers, but yeah, reading I'm so close, I gotta miss. No, it has nothing to do with my reading of it when it says it says bleed, you wanna be gangsta, you got to have heart to be a GU putrid PDF. That's not me reading it. That's not a time. My voice ain't the only type of... Well, that's the problem. If you're trying to use talk to text while watching a guy who's talking, I mean, as a female, your phone is going to pick up the female voice better, but still, of course, if you're trying to do talk to text, it's going to come out fucked up. That's pretty simple. Don't do it. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. I need you guys to you know, this is like, let's look at it for what it is. Let's break it down. I want solutions. I want to fix it. If the answer is it's just because I suck, well, that's fine. Then let's show them that's what it is. But that means you have to address everything, all the points that I'm making, and debunk them. So when you say it's just because you suck, then why do we have 6,300 following on Facebook? How did we get there to begin with? How is it that I can show you that there are specific times, you know, there are events that take place where there are forks in the road, where shit goes in a completely different direction because of that exact instance? You know, the Facebook Live aspect of things, you know, I'm consistently getting 8, 10, 15, 20,000 views on my live feeds. Consistently. And then I made the mistake of saying in 2020, you know, January of 2020, that my New Year's resolution was that I was no longer going to be distracted by everything. Yes, chemtrails are an absolute thing, needs to be dealt with, needs to be addressed, blah, blah, blah. But it's secondary. You know, yes, vaccines are a big deal, blah, 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 but it's secondary. We need to focus, at the time I said, I'm no longer, I'm going to focus on cutting off Israel from the $3.8 billion a year and using that money to create, you know, proper, good pedo hunter programs here in the United States. Like that was my, you know, my goal, right? That was the direction. That was where it sort of, that fork in the road started where I am now. And I've always been the truther guy. I've never believed in Jesus, all that shit. And you can watch my feeds prior to January of 2020, when I was allowed to have all those views. I was talking about all the conspiracy stuff. My Facebook popularity really started with the chemtrail thing because I was filming chemtrails before everybody else was. Then just sound boring, you guy, don't beat around the bush. What? You're boring. What? You're trying to make this more about you than it is. I'm sorry, but this is a bigger picture thing. I'm not, you know, you're not boring, you're not boring, you're contributing, and I appreciate contribution. But if I can't understand what you're saying, well, it's not on me. And as far as the comments go, well, I can't address comments and read comments at the same time. And a lot of times, if I'm in the middle of something and I go to address something, I forget what I was saying. I'm a human. I don't have a secondary person here to be like, oh yeah, you were just talking about this. I need a Jamie, like Joe Rogan has. I need Jamie, the computer guy, the guy that handles all the shitty parts. But it's, you know, it's nothing personal. It's just, whatever. Anyway, I'm more concerned with what I'm talking about. And so I'm again putting it forward, like what is the difference? What's the separation between me and literally every other truther out there? Like, you'll see people that talk about metzitzia, but those people also tell you to believe in Jesus, or that the friars, the Israel hates Jesus. That seems to be a really big thing that's happening right now, is there's this really, really strong, sort of loud collection of voices saying, you know, you know, look at they're destroying a Jesus effigy, and they're destroying a cross, and then, oh look, they put up a new cross, and it's all golden and shiny, and like this whole Jews and Jesus, they hate Jesus, they this, that. It's really strange how well it's working. How much people want to believe this, and they spread, and they're pushing this notion that Christians are in danger, and Christians are the biggest religion worldwide, apparently. I thought it was Islam, but apparently it's Christianity now. People that talk about, you know, the system hates Jesus. Like, if they hate Jesus, why are there churches on every fucking corner? Why are those churches tax-free? Why does somebody associated with the church consistently get away with atrocious crimes because they're from the church. Or even smaller crimes where, their registration is bad or they ran a red light or whatever. Shit that we would get in trouble for, but because they're church members, they get let go of. That's not a system that's attacking Christianity. That's not a system that's opposed to Christianity. Yeah, alcohol is a bad thing, man. Alcohol is bad. It makes you ugly, inside and out. Which is weird because it gives you that liquid courage that makes you think you're the shit. When I'm drunk, man, as pompous and as arrogant as you may think I am now, they'll put that drink in me. I walk around thinking I'm the fucking man. Same thing with opiates. Give me a handful of Vicodin and I'm like, look at me, I'm awesome. Cocaine, same thing. All of the drugs, they do that. I end up walking around thinking I'm the shit. God, I haven't done cocaine in so long. It's almost 20 years. Last time I did cocaine, it led to a panic attack. And I was like, my heart is, I know your heart's supposed to beat faster, but my heart is beating outrageously. And I think this is going to give me a heart attack. My wife was like, okay. And then the next time it was there, she was like, oh, it'll be fine. You just had a, you were just freaking out a little bit. And I went, all right. So I did a little tiny bit. And heart started doing it. I was like, nope, not worth it. The buzz is not worth me thinking there's a good chance it's going to give me a heart attack. Their plan is a holy war. What does that even mean, though? You say these things, Doggo. You've been saying these Goyim truther, phrases for years. These pull cord responses. They want a holy war. What the fuck is a holy war? And really, if that was the plan, if they were trying to make Jews versus Christians, they're gonna lose. If they were trying to make Muslims versus Jews, they're gonna lose. They make up 0.183% of the world's population. And even though they have access to all of the power and the weapons and all that, numbers are just overwhelming. But I don't think it's a holy war as much as it's just bigotry. They've programmed us with racism and national pride, and which is just a form of racism, and like what's happening in Belfast is just disgusting. It's disgusting. It's been going long game to create the players and pit them against each other. Yeah, to a degree, but they're going to be casualties. If it turns out to be some sort of holy bullshit based in fantasy, based not in reality, they're going to be, suffer from it. At the end of the day, the religious separation is available and is in front of us, but it'll people close ranks really quickly. I have to do all the hard work. All I ever ask you guys to do is share. Share. I'll handle the rest of it. I do need people close to me to handle the office stuff, the house cleaning stuff. But that's different. That's not of the concern of the audience. But at the end of the day, like all I want you to do is share. Share the feed, share the music, share the efforts to try to wake people up. All I want them to do is be here, whether they're here in support or they're here to fucking condemn what I'm saying. As long as they're here, the conversation can be had. Our religions are defeating logically, of course. Yeah, everything is. I mean, even the false American notion of karma is bullshit, self-defeating. If you're doing things because you're hoping that you get good karma out of it, or because if you were in the same situation, you would hope somebody would do it for you, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're defeating the purpose. You should be doing things strictly because it's the right thing to do, whether it benefits you or not. Like this situation I'm in consistently, it really does test me as a person. This woman I know who buys cards from me with her, she's bought cards in the past and then she buys them now. She just started again recently. She uses her Social Security. That's what she likes. That's what makes her happy, is buying fucking cards. Okay, whatever. But this woman has been a hoarder basically forever. She's got a house full of shoes and handbags and little house bullshit. She likes little shelves or little cute knickknacks, and she's tons of it. It's fucking insane. Literally boxes in every room of her house, and just the strangest thing, right? But one thing she did over the years was she bought coins. And she has these grandkids that she's apparently buying, she has a will. She's really stupid because she just doesn't understand common sense or logic or, other people's perspective. She thinks everything works from her perspective. And it's fucking frustrating as hell. So, part of me has to consistently remind myself, like, not my chair, not my fucking problem. If she wants it done this way, then let's do it this way. But she takes advantage of the fact that she buys cards from me and that I'm a good guy because she's fucking really crippled. And she's like, can you come help with this? Can you come help me with this? Can you help me, separate this? Can you help me go through my stuff here? And so I do. As much as I can. I mean, it has to be at my convenience if I happen to take the kid to school and whatever. But like I say, it's a consistent test of me. Helping her go through some of her coins yesterday. And she bought these old proof sets, where it's like the 50-cent piece and the quarter and the dime and the nickel, and they're all in a little plastic thing, and they're all from the same year, that kind of shit, right? And on the sticker it says like $35, $40. She paid crazy, stupid, cheap prices for these. Well, you go look them up now, and like yesterday I was looking up some of her sets. Some of them are selling for $1,000 more. She got 5 of them. I'm like, here you go. You got this 1,000 here, 1,500 here, 800 here. Like, and she has no idea what she has. She has no idea. If I wanted to, I could easily just take one of those things and slip it in my pocket. Take it, slip it in my pocket. I wouldn't even have to be greedy. I could steal one per visit. And I would benefit myself, my family, her shit family that's going to get all this, that's going to waste it, that's going to sell it all in a lump sum and not get nearly as much money and, leaves me there to do the work. They're not there helping. They don't deserve what she's done for them. And I'm sure there's some sort of backstory here that I'm not privy to. I mean, she's like, she's very grinding of the gears. But I just couldn't do it. Like, it bugs me that I'm not you. I'm not like most people out there who would take advantage of this situation, especially with her, wanting so much but not paying, and like all, like it's a very weird situation. It's weird for me to be in it and to look at it from a outside perspective. And then there's the part of me that doesn't believe in anything like that. I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in fucking Jesus. I don't believe in any of that shit. So what stops me from, benefiting my family, paying myself? You know? People always say, without the religion, how can you have morals? How can those who don't have religion, those who don't believe in God, they don't have any morals, this, that, and the other. Hey, speaking of which, where's that dumbass Canaanite? Been here every day. But it has nothing to do with anything like that. It's that I just don't want to steal from some old lady who's relying on me for help. Like, it's a really weird situation that it bugs me. It actually bugs me. I don't necessarily like it. But this is this is one of those situations that comes up every once in a while that kind of shows me who I am. Like being falsely arrested and facing 3 felonies and fucking 30, 40 years in prison and all this shit. And I'm sitting in the jail cell going, like, having this conversation with myself. Like, this is the point where a lot of people would say, hey, God, I don't know if you're real or not, and I know maybe I've said some things, but I could really use some help here. If you could help me out in this situation, I promise I'll be a better person. Blah 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 blah. And it made me kind of giggle, even though I'm in fucking prison or in jail, and I'm wondering, there's no hope, there's no light at the end of this tunnel. I'm fucked. I'm still not like, man, I just can't get myself to be like, let me look up at the sky, let me close my eyes and look up and push my hands together really hard and, dear God, please help me. I know I haven't had anything to do with your thing, but I'm really selfish. And so I have some selfish needs right now. Please help me. Don't know what your message said, didn't see it. Hey guy, I need to drink to fall asleep at times. That's not falling asleep, that's passing out. That's different. You're not getting good sleep when you're doing that. And the more you avoid it, the worse it gets. The longer you take, like, part of me is like, who am I to tell somebody else how to grieve, how to deal with their shit? But when you're watching somebody, struggle and make things worse for themselves, it's hard not to say anything, And you're really doing yourself a tremendous disservice by drinking. Alcohol is among the worst things that we do. Like, that's why it's readily available. That's why you can get it at any fucking store at any time of the day. Unless it's Sunday, then you can't get it. Alcohol is we see it all the time, that show Blue Bloods, where, or even the cop show, Chicago Fire or whatever it's called. The firemen own a bar, and after the shift, everyone goes to the bar and ties a few back, and then they what? Drive home? I mean, the Chicago PD episode, the head one of the head firefighters from Chicago Fire, Kelly Severide, he has a Mustang that crashes and blah blah blah, and he's like, because he was really drunk, and it wasn't like oh shit, I never drive drunk. It was like, oh, this time was weird. But you see it like all the time. I need a drink. You need a drink. Alcohol. Chicago or Blue Bloods, they literally like they'll have a rough day or whatever, and they come home and they pour like some scotch into a glass, just straight scotch, and just drink this. Ooh, okay, well, we can have a conversation now. Alcohol is everywhere, and it's so championed. Alcohol, alcohol. Hey, I just won the thing. I can't wait to go have a few beers. Yay. I'm going to get fucking stupid face drunk as fuck and, do some shit I regret. The majority of the regrets I have in my life come from being drunk. That's for damn sure. The things where I've missed great. So, you know how many girls I've missed out on the best looking girls that I've had an option with because of alcohol. Because I was so insecure, and I definitely didn't want to come too fast because that chick's so hot, I'm probably gonna come too fast. So here, let me slow things down with alcohol. Let me make me a little bit cool. But that cool window only lasts for so long, and then it gets obnoxious really quick. And I've missed out on way more hot puss than I got because I was drunk. Drinking is just the fucking, it's the shits, man. It's so dangerous. It's just so fucking dangerous. Why do they have installations that you have to go to? You have to drive to them, and all they sell is alcohol, or if they sell food, it's secondary. Or if they have, pool tables or dartboards or whatever, it's secondary. It's so you have something to do while you're drinking. I mean, nowadays we have Uber, Lyft and shit like that, but we didn't have that for most of life. I mean, I got my DUI when I was 22 or 20, 22, 23, something like that. And I've driven drunk so many times in my life, way back then, like a fucking idiot. And I got in accidents or shit would happen, and because you get away with it, or you should, whatever, it like emboldens you. Like, I could do this. Why do girls become the sincerest item you missed out on? Why do girls become the sincerest item you missed out on? Because that's what happened. And that's how that worked. I didn't get in a bunch of fights. I didn't burn a bunch of shit down, or I mean, a lot of people, especially the fucking losers on here, they would have loved to have lived my life when I was young, good-looking stud out doing my thing. But it wasn't like I had a bunch of opportunities, business opportunities or whatever, and I got drunk and missed that. I just didn't do that. My goal, because of my dad and my dad's family and this Williams role that I felt like I had to fill in, especially I was the only one, my dad, it was my dad and his two brothers, and then the half brother would come in and out, and he was that way, and my grandfather, and this line of Williamses that slayed chicks. That's what we did, and it stops with me. It absolutely stops with me. Like, I've done the opposite of how I grew up. I've done the opposite of painted the picture that the notches in your belt made you more of a man. And I've done everything I can to try to convince them that, like, if anything, if you want to have better sex, be with someone where you can learn each other, and the emotional attachment always makes it better. But, like, putting yourself in danger, you could get any sort of fucking bumpy disease or something. You could get chicks pregnant. Like, I am so glad no one ever got pregnant. I would feel like the worst thing that could happen would be somebody come out of the woodwork and be like, "Hey, I'm your son." From I mean, at this point, I've been with my wife for 20 years, so again, I could have kids in their 30s at this point, and that would destroy me, because I didn't get to be in their lives. I would have wanted to have been in their lives. I would have wanted them to have a dad in their lives.
We'll stop making songs like this when it's no longer necessary. Besides, if you want to hear something,
You don't know that.
put on literally anything
What?
that's allowed to be on the radio.
Well, and see, I mean, it's true. Alcohol releases your inhibitions. It doesn't make girls looser. It makes them less concerned with societal stereotypes and bullshit. It makes them more like real people. Because females want to have sex. Females, want to do a lot of the shit that dudes do. They're just not allowed to because of that weird double standard. She's a slut if she has sex with a bunch of dudes, but he's a hero for having sex with her. Like, it's just fucking stupid. And alcohol makes you make bad decisions. And where that voice is going, "Hey, you don't want to be this or that," the alcohol comes in and says, "Fuck that voice. You enjoy yourself." You've personally done what twice? I mean, I would never trust a female when it comes to, like, if they say, "Oh, I've been with this many guys," or whatever. Like, I would never trust the number my wife tells me. My wife. Because I know how females work. They don't count the guy that only lasted a second. They don't count that the fucking, the gas station guy who happened to be cute and talk a good game on that night where they weren't feeling good about themselves, so they snuck in the back and blew the guy, and whatever. They don't count that shit. And it's none of your business. Like, don't ever ask your partner how many people they've been with. It doesn't matter. It's never going to lead to something good. If they say it's only a couple of people, then you're always going to be insecure that they didn't get enough of that out of them, and maybe they're going to want more. And if it's too many people, well, of course, you're insecure. And guys are always insecure because, what, especially if a guy has a small dick, he's worried that you've had guys that knocked it out. The more partners you have, the more likely you are to have had a guy who beat it up real good on a good way. Not some guy who just sat there and that's no fun. But a guy who actually did a good job. The guy you close your eyes and think about, just before you climax. If you climax. Guys don't want that comparison. Guys are so insecure. And we've been made to be that way. Again, the whole dick thing it's a big deal. And it needs to be. I mean, it's the reality. Like, female satisfaction, female enjoyment, female, the chick getting off is just as important as the dude getting off. And the thing is, the chicks can actually do it multiple times, and like the chicks get the much better end of the stick when it comes to sex. Like it's that trade-off, right? They don't want to be considered a slut, but man, if I, to have what you guys have would be fucking great.
Shake dreams from your hair, my pretty child, my sweet one. Choose the day.
And Carlos, when he was in jail, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Termination. Oh. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. But again, it's nothing to feel bad about. Like you made the right decision. The idea that like guys should have, we have like no real say in this. Like we should have some say for sure, but for the most part, like up until recently, guys could just walk away. And there was no way of tracking them. There was no way of anything. They just walked away. And so the female was stuck with this situation. And when it comes to having children, like you want your kids to have all of the advantages and the best situation they can possibly have, because life is so fucking hard. And to not, at the very least, have a good foundation makes life that much harder. And to think that you were not at all the person that wanted a child or was ready at all for that incredible responsibility. That 9-10 months flies by. You go from being you to suddenly you're them. And that's a huge transition. That's a huge, if you want your life to end, then have kids. Because now your life becomes about their life. All your shit is put on the background. But there's no point in bringing unwanted children into difficult situations that are only going to get worse because there's a child there. Children make everything harder. Even if you have all the money and shit in the world, your life is going to be drastically harder once you have children. The fact that you have to go through what you go through physically and emotionally, that's paying the toll. Any chick that's had to deal with that situation, they think about it all the time. They beat themselves up and they think about it all the time. And it's terrifying. It's terrible. It sucks. At the same time, you know how you get pregnant, right? Females, it's your vagina. You need to take responsibility for your vagina. You can't expect guys to take responsibility for something that if they, like if a guy tries to tell you what you can or can't do with your vagina, you're going to be fucking pissed. How dare you tell me what I can or can't do with my vagina? And then when you get pregnant, it's like, look what we did. Bitch, I thought you were going to be more responsible than that. And like females, we need to be more aware. You've been having the same period every month since you were like 12. Now I know that some women can be irregular, and if that's the case, you need to be extra careful. But most women can set their calendar by their period. A couple days before their period, they know it, they can taste it, they can taste the metal. They can, they can feel it in their stomachs and all this other shit. Like, you know, you're in that small way. You can only get pregnant a couple of days every fucking month. Go on, baby girl. It's not like it's just random. Speaking of which,
here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. Oh, what? Ooh, what's wrong with this kitty? Oh, yuck! This is a stinky kitty. Oh, are these bugs? Oh, kitty, this is your responsibility, kitty. You're supposed to take care of yourself. It's your goddamn vagina. Take responsibility. All of the baby daddy dramas because you killed the chivalry with your slimy inability to own your own corruption. No one makes the willing. We aren't known for our seduction. Prowess, but we're the butt end of the joke we call relationships. We pretend to be McLovin because our Vogel gets replaced by dicks. Since you menace our amazing gifts, no matter how kick-ass we are. There's a reason that some girls stay hit. Your big daddy issues tar and feather any star that might light up your darkness. You act as if you're smart while you still say irregardless. You think judge because the part says it must be worth the drive. But how can someone be so heartless and still remain alive? You keep acting like the target pointed right between your eyes isn't truth among your garbage. I can't believe I'm now this guy. You despise the compromise that could ignite the change we need. If the prize was how you try, it's no surprise the first prize free.
oh,
Stop blaming God. Because your thighs refuse to hide. Your kitty pride. Stop blaming God. Don't act surprised. Your lockheed should be despised. I'm just sick of double standards, and I'm all about equality, but weren't you raised with manners? I have a problem with the policy that you have the Colonel Sanders, and your flavor's so astonishing that women can't be cancers, and men shouldn't be the bomb to bring. And end all the hollering, using logic based on reason. Like using plastic when you're soldering, the things that you believe in fall apart because the meaning gets lost in the distraction. If it feels like we're careening, we can blame the lack of traction on your tired, sneaky traps when you pretend you're not on schedule. You're like heroin to aspirin, a step up so regrettable. I wish I never felt the pull, addicted to your nightmare. At first you felt incredible, now all we do is fight. We're a statistic and we're right where everyone said we'd be. Because you didn't know you might bear fruit because your tree doesn't flower for a week. Every month like clockwork. The truth is you selfishly just had to quench your cock thirst. Stop blaming God. Because your thighs refuse to hide. Your kitty pride. Stop blaming God. Don't act surprised. Your lockheed should be despised. If you are on your period, then why are you out fucking? I couldn't be more serious. You should keep that ragamuffin from making an appearance. If your water's showing rust, then you should have a healthy fear of kids. Acknowledging that nothing is worth that one-time stuffing that comes complete with gravy. You may think you have turducken, but even that, when eaten daily, is boring. And the failing marriage numbers should be hailing the change we could be sailing if these captains knew their ships. Instead of us curtailing the stupidity prevailing, we beg for the unveiling of your lush beef curtain strips. When it comes to the average male, things are basically a stale dream. Chasing these females means make certain not to slip. You may just be out wailing, frivolously impaling someone you plan on bailing on, but if the work empties your clip, you could be stuck to a drip that turns into a drop. What wasn't quite flip turns into a flop, and then comes the cop bleeds us, because women can't stop their need
best part is, this is a women's power song. You guys should agree with me, man. It's your vagina. I'm not trying to tell you anything you can or can't do with it. I am telling you, you need to take responsibility for said vagina. Because, like I just said, if I tried to tell you what to do with it, you'd be really upset with me. So, why are you trying to tell me that I have some sort of responsibility when it comes to whether or not you let that thing get impregnated? TBG? TB? TB? TBG? Such a good song. Such a good fucking song. You forget about these old ones. Johnny was justified, Daniel was the dick, and he deserved that busted thigh from the illegal kick. See, if he didn't do his tricks, then his treats might have been better. Although it's just another flick, the threads that make that ugly sweater hold reality together. They're the rules that we live by, like Forrest Gump's impossible feather. We believe the CGI when it's lying to our eyes, because the TV said so. Without coincidence, we just die and have to spend our summer in Fresno. We should kick it right now. Why does this song piss you off? Isn't it weird that females always get mad when you try to be like, hey, you know, you're awesome. Take responsibility for yourself. It's really a weird thing. Like, if dudes could only get chicks pregnant, like if we had this point every month where our sperm becomes active, and so for, you know, 2, 3, 4 days a month, if we have sex, we could get people pregnant. Then it would be a little bit of a comparison. But the reality is, dudes can get you pregnant at any time. We have no idea what your fucking schedule is. Even when we're together, we don't like keep track of it. We know, like, as soon as I walked in the house, I'd be like, uh-oh. Like, there's a smell in the air. It's not a foul smell or anything, but there's just a smell in the air. There's a feeling in the house. I know, the funniest thing about periods is like biologically, we should be attracted to our women during that time. You should absolutely be like all about your woman during that time. That's biologically. They're in heat and they're releasing pheromones like crazy. And that's how I always know. Like, even to this day, my wife's, you know, had a hysterectomy and shit, but she still goes through the process every month. And I know it's that time because, like, I just start messing with her a little bit more. And it's like, oh, it must be that time, huh? Because she's like, yeah. She's mean. But I'm, you know, it's just, I'm more attracted. But my wife does the same thing. My wife gets mad at me for saying these things. Whenever you try to say it's the woman's fault for getting pregnant, like, they get mad. She gets mad at me all the time when I say I don't think women should be fucking cops, judges, like any sort of position where you have control over somebody else's life, over their livelihood, over their well-being, over their freedom. Because, you know, to pretend like because somebody has a position that she's a judge or she's a cop or whatever, that somehow she doesn't have bad periods. Like every single female I've ever known, from my mom to my wife. Get in the house. Yes, go get in the house. Hmm? What? Take your beach ball looking ass in the house. You look like a beach ball. You look like 3 beach balls. Right, but like to me, periods are fucking awful. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. That would just be atrocious. To be bleeding out of my crotch for 5 days. You know, whether I have a tampon shoved up in there or I'm sitting on a bloody nasty pad. I have my hormones are all fucking all whacked out. I got cramps. My clothes don't fit the same way. Like just there's so many negative aspects of this, and none of them are positive. There's nothing positive that comes from the period time other than the pheromones aspect. But like I don't think females should be cops to begin with, let alone knowing that once a month for a week you're compromised, you're worse at your job than you normally are. That's fucking insane. It would be one thing if we were allowed to question these things. You know, if we were allowed to say, okay, let's look at this judge's track record. Does it show that every month for a week or a couple of days, she makes more irrational decisions than she normally does? Is her track record the same every day of the month, every year? You know, for year after year, you can see that she never varies. She's always the same reasonable. Or because I know I've dealt with it. I've dealt with a judge before that was a female that was just like, why are you being so, you know, what the fuck is your deal? Especially looking the way I do, having the aura, the presence that I have, the confidence that I have. You know, those kind of, you know, those women, they love knocking guys like me down a peg. But, you show me the video where a single female cop arrests a man who doesn't want to be arrested, and then, well, maybe we can talk. But female cops are fucking, they put all of us in danger. I can show you endless videos where a guy runs away from the female and she basically stops running after a couple minutes because she knows she can't catch him. Or the guy goes to wrestle and pulls himself away, or he knocks her the fuck out. Those videos exist too. Yeah, that guy, the pre-menopause and menopause, hard work on. I mean, if we're looking at it realistically, like I say, I look at it because I feel sorry for you. Like, I can't imagine what that's like. And from what I've experienced on the receiving end of the chick on her period, like it's extreme. It's awful. And I, every single female, every single one has had a situation happen where they've done or said or whatever something, and afterwards they have to apologize and be like, I'm sorry, I was on my period, I was being a little unreasonable, blah, 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 blah. Every single one of you has had that before. And it's scary to think you might have that situation while you're on a you pulled somebody over, or you're deciding a divorce hearing or something along those lines. Like, that's not okay. The idea of a female president, we don't know how well that woman's going to take to menopause. Menopause is extreme in some cases, and there's no like signs. You can't say, oh, this person's going to have a bad menopause or this person's not. If she has a bad menopause, she definitely shouldn't be the fucking president. That's scary. But this is part of that reality that we're just not allowed to talk about. It's nothing to do with your biological sex at all. It's down to self-control and discipline. It's not even that. I mean, we're talking about, far beyond what you're even capable of self-control and discipline. As men, we can't speak about. We could think about it that way because basically everything in our lives is that. We are responsible to always have self-control and discipline, and we don't have an excuse where, a time happens every month and we're not held to that same standard because everybody can look at the situation and be like, wow, that's really fucking gross, that's really bad, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. Especially if you're someone that has bad periods. And because we're not allowed to ask those questions, we're not allowed to figure that out. I can't be like, oh wow, you are the perfect employee, everything is great. Hey, let me ask you, during your cycle, how does that work? Do you get extremely affected by it? And of course, that crosses the line. And of course, every woman's going to be like, no, to a man. But let some chicks talk or sit around talking. And they'll be like, fuck, my God. Oh, I'm such a bitch when I'm on my period. And blah, 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 blah. Shit happens all the time. I think female cops put everybody else in danger. Look, if I'm a two-strike felon, and because I'm a two-strike felon, I don't have a lot of opportunities. Right? So unfortunately, I got to do some felonious shit just to feed my family or whatever because I can't just get a good job or something. I'm a two-strike felon. So I'm out there on committing my third felony. I got a trunk full of fucking dope or something that I'm gonna go drop off, and I'm gonna make $100,000 or some shit, whatever. I get pulled over by a female cop, I am way more likely to try to fight my way out of that shit than I am if it's some jacked up dude. Somebody that I can look at and go, ooh, he's gonna run me down. Even at 48, 47, very few females do I fear could actually physically take me out. Especially since a lot of the cops that I see are these little hot chicks. Small, little chicks who are kind of hot. Who have lived a very privileged life being a little hot chick. Let's see. They put the same logic, so why don't you go be a cook 24/7? Like, that's kind of offensive. Let's see. Truth isn't always sunshine and rainbows, no. Hard work. Sorry, I missed. Yeah. Lots of work hard, nothing to do with it. We always will, but you guys should support us through the hard week out of the month. That's exactly the point. Yeah. Supporting you through the hard week of every month. And I don't think you should be out working, especially if you're a cop, like a patrol officer. She has to sit in a period. Like, what happens if you go to pull the guy over and all of a sudden you just start bleeding? And you've got a big fucking shit, like, running down your leg or whatever. You didn't know you were going to start, and it just starts like that. Then, you think you're going to give the same traffic stop you would without that happening? Or let's say you're having a bad period, and you just, you haven't had a chance to change your pad or tampon yet. So that shit's full. And you gotta, every time, you get up to go, can I have your license and registration? Say the guy looks like some old boyfriend you had, or the guy that beat your mom or something. He just looks like that person. You get the license, you go to sit back in your car, you get that reminder. Like that is a rotten situation no one should have to experience. Your stomach's all swollen and cramped and your legs hurt and all that. And then this guy takes off running. What are you going to do? You're not going to chase him. You're going to catch him. And now you have a fugitive. You have a guy who has proven that in order to maintain his freedom, he's willing to run away from cops, commit a felony just to get away. Well, what other felonies is that guy willing to commit now to maintain his freedom? Is he going to jack somebody's car? Is he gonna, check a door handle and run into somebody's house? You never know. And anytime a criminal gets away from the cops like that, that creates a danger for everybody. Like, literally, that's why they do lockdowns and shit. That's why they do perimeters and all that, to make sure that they can catch this guy. So every time somebody gets away from a cop, it makes it worse. I also think there should be a height requirement for dudes. I don't think a guy that's 5'2", 5'3" should be allowed to be a cop. Sorry, that guy has little man complex. I don't care what you tell me, that guy has little man complex. Every single short guy I've ever met that's unreasonably short has that complex. You're gonna give that guy a fucking gun and a badge? You're gonna give that guy qualified immunity, so if he does kill someone, he's saying, guy said he doesn't support a woman on her period. That is not the case, and twisting what he said. Well, you imply that guy wasn't supporting. He's clearing it up. No, and you both agree.
You're dangerous to the public, but you're like shy, don't mean he's used to control trusted pageantry. I would. How does he still read the drift? And I basically told. I went off the beaten path describing reason the board, but there's a reason that they laugh less just as much as before, and it's because they're so enormous, feeling like a flea circus. The Goyim sing the chorus, and it's all done on purpose, but they really get nervous when we put down our weapons and say, Griff doesn't deserve this means you don't pay attention. The public enemy is an invention.
I love this song.
We all think the same, yet who's often in attention? Those who try to blame the system for the shame, and yet Professor
not being just making sure I can't breathe or get him. No, I mean, it's obvious Jane is upset. And it's the same upset that females always get when I say these things. They don't actually, argue the point per se. They just get mad at me for saying it. And this is the friar mentality that's been pushed on us in every aspect of our lives. It doesn't matter who it is or what it's about. Matt did it. Matt was guilty of it at one point. And like I say, I give Matt a lot of credit for being able to be like, wait a minute, I did do that, didn't I? Because that's hard to do. We're not taught to do that ever. That's not a part of who we are. Like, they don't teach us to pay our taxes and shit. They don't teach us that part, that humble part, that oh shit, I fucked up part. If you actually, like look at your life. When was the last time your mind changed about something? When was the last time you actually apologized about something? And it was like a real apology, like, oh, I'm sorry I did that. Not, I'm sorry you felt this way. I'm sorry you thought I said this, but you're like, holy shit, I did that. I'm really sorry, I fucked up. I need to make a change. You'd be surprised. As adults, we don't do that very often. Just shut up and dance. Exactly. Shut up and dance. Shut your mouth, then shut your mouth, then shut your mouth, then dance. The females always get mad at me for this. You guys notice that the friars aren't here. It's that Sabbath, so I'm not allowed to be here, I guess.
The germs, man, they're coming. The germs, man, they're coming. Everyone run and hide. Say goodbye to your loved ones. Don't fight the conundrum. Everyone's going to die. TBG presents a masterpiece. We're at our best discussing how as peasants we're just bastard sheep, yet feel like shepherds busting everything you're trusting, even though you know mentioning the upper crust brings the flow of those below to a go that's less than slow. woefully falling behind. The show they push to grows more so a stalling line, since calling on the mind to see what isn't seen is so appalling when you find that we've been living in a scene, in a film with kings and queens where the Goyim are subjected. We believe invisible beings enjoy it when we get infected, yet it's a
great video.
we're injected with what really makes us sick. As toys we're given sepsis while we play treats or tricks, but when they say the stones and sticks, we can identify the cauldron. If we have a bone to pick, we should break them into columns where we separate who's all in from who's just along for the ride. If we negotiate to solve them, then the problems simply die. Look at how stupid you are. Look at what you believe.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't you type that in the comment section?
Just look at all of the looky-loos.
Again, it's weird because they always argue these same points. Like, am I not sitting here going like listen to this comment, right? I'm literally wrapped like a baby, swaddled with a hot water bottle. So I'm in the middle of the P word. So I have a little respect. Absolutely fold over in pain. Out uterus is ripping out of the skin lining from myself, drowning the right. Like, yeah. Exactly why chicks shouldn't be allowed to be cops. Exactly why chicks shouldn't be allowed to be judges. I can't fucking imagine how awful that is. You know, if I was bleeding out of my fucking crotch for 5 days in a row, somehow not dying, gotta bleed out that evil. Like, it's obviously strange, right? Anybody that bleeds for 5 days is gonna fucking die. You bled that much in any other circumstance, you die. But your body is somehow creating more blood. Like, think about it. You're this enclosed system. Your blood is just recycled, and like, you're not getting new blood. You're not losing blood. Sometimes you lose blood, but you know, for the most part, you have the same blood in your system at all times. And yet women have this thing where they get rid of their blood, and their body makes more. Like, I just, it's incredible. And I would imagine that's quite taxing on the system to have to create something out of nothing. Like, there's no blood there, and they make more blood. You know, they make people. I'm not gonna keep going to your comments. Right? No, again, if you knew you were right, you wouldn't be talking in the comment section or in the messenger. You'd be saying these things. This is what I'm saying. It's this weird thing that females have. It's like this immediate switch is flipped, and now it's men versus women. You know, there's not a single time when there's a bump in the night and I'm like, hey, Ant, go check it out. Right? If there's a bump in the night, if there's a chance that somebody's going to die in the situation, I'm the one that has to do it. That's the thing about being the man. When it's like, hey, there's some shit that needs to be picked up and moved from here to there. It's never like, oh, and you do it. I don't feel like it. No, it's not even a question. It's not even a thing where it's like she automatically expects it. And it's not, hey, I got to move these things. Come here. And I was like, oh, okay, here you go. Yeah. There's a reality here that you can't let your own personal feelings get in the way of. Stop messaging me. You've been blocked on YouTube. How have you been blocked on YouTube? That don't make no sense. Try resetting. If you're obviously, you can see me, it means you haven't been blocked yet. And your last comment wasn't something to get you blocked. No, I stream on Facebook when the YouTube shut down. It's just nobody's gonna see it. 4,300 followers, and I go live to 2-3 people. Totally makes sense. Like it's just so weird. Like I just don't understand the inability to look at things from a realistic point of view. Like I could be mad about not being able to have a baby all day long. It's not gonna matter. It's a fucking ridiculous concept. It's a ridiculous thought. Right? And I could say it's not fair, it's this, that, or discrimination or any kind of stupid shit. But the reality is, I'm not gonna have a fucking baby. The reality is, you can't show me a single fucking video where a guy who didn't allow himself to be arrested was arrested by a single female. Like, you can barely show me a video where the female actually helps. If there's a situation where somebody's acting out and there's a bunch of dudes bunch of male officers that are dealing with it, the female stands off to the side and might like put the handcuffs on or something. But she doesn't help. If anything, she gets in the way. She's the weak point. It's so fucking stupid that to appease some sort of, insecurity, chips and shoulders, like why would you ever even want to be a cop if you're a female? You really want to be in that situation, especially if you're small and hot? Well, then you absolutely have a chip on your shoulder. You absolutely have some sort of situation in your past that has you fucking hating men so that you want to do that. See, Jane? Facts are facts and feelings are overturned by facts to live a structured life. Changes must be made, but life will be more peaceful once we replace toxic habits, mindsets with healthier ones. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's difficult. The transition's going to be a difficult one. If you eat strawberries every fucking day, 10 years, every day at 9 a.m. you eat fucking 10 strawberries. The first day you don't have your strawberries, you're going to feel fucked up. It's going to be weird. 2 days, 3 days. It's going to take a few days before you adjust to the idea that you're not eating strawberries at 9 o'clock every day.
Learn to swim. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers, tidal wave, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits. And some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this stupid shit. Silly shit. One big festering neon distraction. I have a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to Mom's gonna fix it all soon. Mom's coming around to put it back the way it ought to be. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Fuck L. Ron Hubbard and fuck all his clones. Fuck all these gun-toting hip gangster wannabes. Learn to swim. Fuck retro anything. Fuck your tattoos. Fuck all you junkies and fuck your short memory. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Yeah, Fuck smiley glad hands with hidden agendas.
This song's about
Fuck these
Scientology.
dysfunctional, insecure actresses. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Because I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves. I want to see the ground give way. I want to watch it all go down. Mom, please flush it all away. I want to see it go right in and down. I want to watch it go right in. Watch you flush it all away.
Headphones, amazing.
Yeah. Time to bring it down. Don't just call me pessimist. I agree with you. I can't imagine what it would any case. I want to see it come down. Suck it down. Flush it down.
Where's my Tool fan? I think I'm done. Just get this songs real quick. And, bitch be talking about fuck me? You totally did. You totally ruined it. Bitch be talking about fuck me? No, fuck that bitch.
Stop being taught and educate yourself.
This song's from like
Let's not mince
2000.
words. I'm
18 or
anti-Jew.
something, 17.
Semitic refers to all of those who stand to be screwed by Israel's hand. Land that is viewed as part of a plan, penned by a band always on the run. But when you overstand, you see more than one. Our vision begun in our image, not his. So let's have some fun and ask who our is. Their book plainly gives a set of instructions, and as history lives, so do the reductions. So many dumb sins, what we deem inconvenient, are placed in the oven, then burned in agreement. But what's learned through appeasement is that truth can be skewed. Who the fool calls a heathen, the rest of us will say, dude, go get some brain food, then take a long nap. You'll see Hitler was used to bait their best trap. Fuck you, Israel. Fuck you, Netanyahu. Fuck all of your miserable craziness will stop you. Fuck you from the top view and fuck you from behind. Fuck all of that chosen bullshit. They fuck you every time. How does anyone accept the premise that someone is born above them? Just because some silly sentence they wrote puts them in front then. The layers in the onion cry when sold a story. Supported by no one in a position of authority. Just like the holy glory. The facts are what disprove their boring lies of poor me and claims of such abuse. The historical proof proves 6 million lies. The census is truth, you just can't deny. And what that provides collides with the myth. About 3 million Jew lives were alive in the mix. They just didn't exist. 10 million plus strong. In Europe, the list just wasn't that long. And if all of that's wrong, what else could be? How many belong to the conspiracy? It's become clear to me, so I'm sharing with you. It's unfair to think I'm not allowed to say Jews. Craziness will stop you. Fuck you from the top view and fuck you from behind. Fuck all of that chosen bullshit. They fuck you every time. The National Socialist and Zionist parties focus their focus, and out came the Nazis, hoping the hardy boys would obey. They rewrote the starting, bedazzled the play. The cattle's dismay is the least of concerns. The burgers get made and the beasts never learn. The reason we earn a check-to-check life, it keeps us in turn. Accepting the strife is part of the night. The double-edged sword that comes when you wipe with sandpaper, sure. Down to the core, you'll probably be clean, but in the end, you'll be sore. You believe such a thing.
Man, it's so good.
Bolshevik dream seems a reality. And bullshit screams mean you must be mad at me. But I ask you quite passionately, who has the control when United States taxes feed Israel's hope? Fuck you, Israel. Fuck you, Netanyahu. Fuck all of your miserable craziness will stop you. Fuck you from the top view and fuck you from behind. Fuck all of that chosen bullshit. They fuck you every time.
They fuck you through the drive-through line.
I hope no one thinks they're special or that I practice showing Jews favor. I'm anti-Christian, anti-Muslim too. I'm anti any silly form of religious fakery. I just take exception to the one that thinks I was born inferior. As a brilliant poet once said, for those who remove those supremacist beliefs, your freedom includes a Passover, my feast.
What a great way to end it. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Check out all the links in the description. Go get your free downloads. Do all that shit, man. It'll ask you how much you want to pay. Click downloads. How much you want to pay? If you get $0, then it's free. It's really weird. So every year, there's this bee that seemingly hangs out right here. It does this every single year. Makes you wonder, is that actually a bee or is that a drone?
Oh, you didn't know?
Same bee, same spot every year, same. It's a bee. Don't they live like a short time? So why would this bee just be hanging out watching me all the time? Do you guys even see it? I don't know if you guys even see it. Why is there a bee that does this every year? Weird, huh? Could be a drone. I'll send a pic that shows parts of them. Yeah, I mean, seems weird.
And of course, if you're not down with that, well, we've got two words.
I should break it. I should kill it. I'll know then, right? If I break it, if I kill it, and there's parts in there, then I guess we'll see, huh? It's sitting here looking right at me. It's 4 feet in front of me, looking directly at me. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. And it seriously, it does it every year on this side of the sidewalk, looking right at me. I'm sure this is me being a fucking crazy conspiracy theorist. Well, I mean, the picture you sent is what Goyim have access to. Imagine what actually exists. I can still see it. I'm still. Oh, looks like it just flew off. I walked away from where it was, and now it flew off. Let's see if it comes back, because I come back. Oh, there it is. All right, let's back up. Let's see what happens. I can still see it. really makes you wonder. We only allowed so much information, but we can form our own conclusions that are fucked up and documented. Isn't crazy too. And yeah, get better than nothing. Right. This just is what it is. The beast sitting right there.
And go, even though you claim that it's divine, no one wants to be here, and no one even wants you here. Everything is Mr. Free, no longer will we live in. You just get the fuck out of here. Stop and go.
Interesting. We'll see if it's there tomorrow. Make sure you remind me. I don't mean it. I mean, it's there every day. I've noticed it before and didn't think anything of it till right now. I mean, I've noticed it, thought something of it, but never was like, hey, maybe that's a drill. Right there. Seems like the other bugs keep fucking with it. I don't know if you can see that, but other bugs keep fucking with it. I didn't think other bugs fucked with bees. You're not crazy. You're just a human supercomputer ahead of most, and I can relate. That's pretty good considering I never took Adderall before. Just hovering, right? Yeah, I never took Adderall either. When I was a kid, the schools kept trying to put me on the shit. And my mom was real reluctant, thankfully. But she would take me to the doctors to go get interviewed for the, we want this kid. The schools would like force my mom to take me to doctors so that I could be put on Ritalin. And every single time we'd go, the doctor would be like, this kid doesn't need Ritalin. He's fine. He doesn't have any problems concentrating and shit. I think he might be bored. And it wasn't like, oh, let's put this kid in some sort of program. Oh, he got 100% on the math and reading portion of the MEP test, the standard, what's it called? Michigan, the equivalency test, whatever it's called. Those tests that they give in 4th grade. My class was the first class to get them. And I got 100% on the math and reading and 97% on the science. I missed like 1 or 2 questions. And I was one of 2 kids in the entire state that did that. And then there was 1 kid that got it all right. And I was mad. What the fuck did I miss? How did I miss 1? It must have been, I must have screwed something up. But the school was like, they thought I cheated somehow. They couldn't figure out how I would have cheated. It's not like we had, phones and shit back then. So they were just dumbfounded. How the fuck did you just score the best score in the whole fucking school? Top 3 scorers in the state. How did you cheated somehow? They tried to pull that shit. And it was like, how? What did I use? But you would think that would be, like, on top of these other things, would be something that they would go, hey, And now that I'm older, and the conspiracy guy makes me think, like, why do they even give those tests? Those tests they don't go for anything. They supposedly aren't to test anything. They don't supposedly matter. They don't put you in, they don't count for any of your grades, or they don't prevent you from passing or anything like that. So why do they give those standard tests in 4th grade? And I was the first year to get them. And I know that my family is Operation Paperclip, so there's a good chance we were being watched before that. But doesn't it seem like it's a great way for the system to figure out who the people to look out for is? The people to put on a list? I mean, if you were running a system and I mean, think of the cost of those tests. Just the Scantron papers alone, the pencils, to pull the test back up, to mail them off, to get them all graded, to run them through the machines and get them all graded, and to mail this. I mean, this is all snail mail back then. Think about the cost that went into that program. For what? What's the benefit? What's the end game? What's the payoff for that shit other than you're singling out who to keep an eye on? I mean, it's sort of said in like jest or whatever, but clearly I'm smarter than everyone else. Those other kids that got the good grades, those were like the good kids. Those were the smart kids. Those were the kids that were expected to get those scores. Matter of fact, I think it was a girl that got the other score in my school that got the other 197. Like, they made a big deal out of it. Like, she was like, look at our student scored this high, and everybody was all about, she was champion, and I was said to have cheated. And I don't have a lot of memories of fourth grade, but I do remember feeling like completely like hurt and dejected and like pissed off. Like, how dare you assume I cheated? Never been caught cheating in my life. It wasn't like I cheated on a bunch of tests before that and kept getting caught cheating. I never got caught cheating. I never was a cheater. I didn't like that. I'd rather fail than cheat. Which is stupid. You should fucking cheat. But the fact that I was smarter than every other kid in the school should have really put me in a different position. But, it's funny too, because I just saw a video, somebody talking about the tag program. And I remember being mad because I wasn't in the tag program. But, the whole thing was, well, I didn't do well in school. The school teachers always hated me because I would do well on tests, but I just hated homework. Once I leave school, I've left school, I'm not doing homework. What are you, fucking nuts? I'm going outside. I'm playing. I'm being a kid. And I was aware of that from a very young age. And so it would piss them off because I was, a goofball. And, I would not do the work, not do it. And that's like, one time we did a paper. I still have it in my memories box somewhere, but we had to do a paper on, I don't remember what the topic, what we were supposed to do on it, but I didn't, I did what I was supposed to do, but my paper was about George Foreman knocking out Michael Mora because it had just happened. And it was like, you're supposed to do something historical, I think. And this was, the oldest man to win the fucking champions. This was amazing. It still hasn't been beat. Probably never will be. Well, actually, no, probably will be. Even though Bernard Hopkins is the oldest champion, heavyweight champion is George Foreman. But I did this paper, and for the weeks leading up to it, the teacher would want us to do like the bubble outline. We'd have to do an outline where we put the name in the middle and then, circle it and then draw a stick off of one side and then a topic and then circle that and then what parts went with, like, it was all these different things, all these different like exercises or whatever. And I'd be like, can't I just write the fucking paper? Like, okay, I get the idea of writing a first draft and a second draft and, a final. I get that. You write it out, you get your idea, you clean it up the second time. You know, the second time through, you get one more edit through, one more, hey, read this for me, and depending on what's said, then you make the final edits, you clean it up, you write it nicely, and had to be in cursive back then, and, you know, you turn it in. Like, that made sense. But, you know, all the other bullshit just never made sense to me. Why would I do all that extra dumb nonsense work? I'll just write the paper. And so because I didn't have a whole bunch of outlines and all these things, you're supposed to turn it all in, I just turned in the rough draft, and then I think with this one I actually typed it out on my dad's jank ass, I think it was a computer. Yeah, it was a computer. You know, that printer shit. But I turned in the rough draft and then the final draft. And the note on the thing said, like, something along the lines of, I don't think I could write a paper this good, on my first try or something like that. You know, I got a C on the paper because she didn't think I wrote it. She thought my dad must have done it or something like that. And then my dad must have been like some professional writer or some shit. I don't know. But it was like, call him. He'll tell you. He didn't do it. All he did was double check my shit. These were the situations I would deal with in school. You know, because I wasn't normal, but I was smarter than everyone else. It wasn't like I was, you know, like nowadays, a kid like me would be immediately, you know, put into the special, you know, talented school, whatever. They would love it, especially being a halfie. Ooh, they would love that shit. Back then, I was the only halfie around. I was the only halfie I knew, the only halfie anyone knew. And in my school, in Northville especially, Northville was old, fucking rich, old money. One of the richest communities in the state. And it's all old money. And lots of racists, lots of Jews. Didn't realize it was a lot of Jews back then, but our principal was Dr. Johnson. Good old Southern boy. Called him Dr. Johnson. This is a man who, you know, was in his 60s in the 90s, meaning he had to be born in the 30s, maybe the 40s. Just like Trump. He was born and lived life before civil rights. And he was from the South, so it took even longer. You're telling me that guy didn't have racist shit inside him? He wasn't racist? Of course he did. Of course it was like that. And like I say, nowadays they would look at how I write. Now that like the song Acidic Gas lets you know, like that was an accident. And I think that was a result of too much acid one night and Jim Morrison jumping from the fucking Doors movie through the TV into me. But that's a whole different school of thought there. All I know is I was a very proficient writer my whole life, but I never once wrote fucking poetry. And then this happened, and I started writing poetry. I would go to we would go to go to Big Boy. And they'd give me a red and a blue. They'd give us the pack crayons. I'd always have red and a blue. And I would either write it in red and put the title in blue or vice versa. And we'd go sit down and I'd flip over the placemat. And everybody else would do their thing because they knew I was going to write something, and I would just write something. And most of the time, I don't even think I read it to them. I just put it away. I had to find my old poetry book. I wasn't the type to have a poetry book, but when I was in California and I had to move, and my mom had accidentally sent out the big memories box of all my shit from when I was a kid. And I couldn't fit it in my car when I had to leave, so I had like a seance, like a a Holocaust for it. I burned it all. Each thing individually, burned it. And so I had taken a lot of those placemats that I had, and I had written them out in a book, so I would have them. Makes me wonder just how much shit's been lost over the years. But when I say I'm smarter than you, it's justified, it's validated. You know, and you could say, oh, that's just fourth grade, blah, blah. Yeah, well, in fourth grade, I was way smarter than everybody else. Without trying. I wasn't the kid that did all the school stuff. So for me to know that stuff, because those tests are about your ability to think. It's not like it's, you know, George Washington crossed this or whatever. It's not like that. It's presented with story problems, and you have to write the answer to it. It's presented with math problems, and you have to write those. You have to, well, not write it, but pick the Scantron answer, which of the multiple choice is true. Be interesting if it was today, so there'd be more of a record of it. It's all gone. But I'm smarter than you. And I am better than Jesus. Pedophiles, kill yourself.